Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Beth Traverso. How you doing, Beth?
Hey, Mike, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Glad to be back for the second video.
Awesome. So this video number two is actually going to be kind of a carry on to video number one, where we talked about your market of Seattle, listings, pricing, days on market, all of that. I want to do a video just about cancellations. And to be clear, we are not talking about buyers canceling escrows. We are talking about sellers canceling contracts. This is something that I think is way, way important. And I don't know that people understand what it is when it happens. So I know you've looked at it, you have some thoughts. So let's talk about seller cancellations.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about that on your channel and other places. So I wanted to add a little bit of insight that might mix things up a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah.
Disagreement.
So, and again, this is market dependent. This is what happens in my MLS. I don't know how other MLSs operate. It could be totally different way.
Sure.
But I know in my market of Seattle, which I'll look at, I did some looking at King County, which is, just to recap, it's Seattle and Bellevue and the other areas all around. It's 2 million people. It's the biggest area around Seattle. Okay. So I looked at cancellations within the last 30 days and cancellations at the same period a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And we are up about 150% in cancellations. They were low before, like around 150, and now we're in the high 300s for cancellations. Okay. Still not a lot when you look at the market at large, but we've always had lower inventory than a lot of other.
And what is inventory? Areas. What are active listings today by comparison?
About 3,000. Well, active listings today are about 3,400 in King County.
All right, so we're talking about 10%. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So now the thing that makes me not put so much weight on those numbers, or at least makes me look at them differently, the cancellation numbers, is the fact that in my market, it's a function of people doing significant price drops. They're not necessarily taking the home off the market and giving up. So what they want to do is they want to ping it back up to the new listing status, and you have to cancel it first. And our MLS put a crackdown on that about, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, I forget, but they basically saw people doing that over. They do like a $2,000 price drop and just continually do it again and again and again. They knew it was messing up the data. Sure. So they put in a rule saying it has to be a price drop of 5% or more from the most recent list price, not the original one, the most recent one. Then you get the privilege of putting it on as a new listing.
Got it.
And so when I was looking at the listing, I don't know how to track the numbers on that because there's no data field for that. You kind of got to go one by one. But I was looking through those ones in the most recent one, and just what I see, I check it every day, multiple times a day in my little sub market. What's going on as far as cancellations and expired listings. I look to see, have they been relisted? More than, I don't know the exact number, but more than half of the time they are relisted at a new price the same day.
Interesting.
So what it does, it is a symptom of wish pricing.
Correct.
But it doesn't necessarily mean they're giving up. It means they're coming. A lot of them are coming. Some are giving up. And I would guess in my market, maybe around 30 to 40% tops I see don't relist, but the other 50 to 60% are relisting at a lower price, a significantly lower price.
I was going to say significantly.
When we're talking about, say, a house at 1.2, 5% is, what is that, $60,000? Like
60 grand.
Okay, you're the better math guy than me.
Yeah.
But I think at $60,000 is a big price concession, So if those are coming on at significantly lower price,
that's interesting.
And it also messes with the stats.
Your days on market get all wacky.
Nobody really knows what the actual number is, and I can see why the MLS didn't really like that practice, but
yeah, that might explain why days on market, because again, something we've seen nationally. Frankly, the number that the last 2 months, I'm like, that can't be right, was days on market. I don't remember if you remember.
Yeah, and that's
it was
days
14
on market
days.
14?
Yeah, nationally.
Right, does it? So
it doesn't seem right. But I think
I have a hard time
practice.
believing that something's wonky there. And so one thing I can say about another thing my MLS does is they will not let you ditch your days on market until you're 60 days off market.
Oh, so you have continuing days on market.
You can relist as you can be 40 days on the market and relist at 5% or more under, but you're still going to be dragging along that days on market number.
Nice.
Which is good. We don't want to mess with the actual truth. We want to try to keep it as pure as we can. Yeah. But sometimes, like I have one that I'm working on now where they were on the market with someone else and it didn't work out. We're getting ready to relaunch it, and we made sure we're waiting past that 60-day mark so we could start fresh. 0 days on market, but you got to wait 2 months.
Yeah.
So
this is why, folks, you have to look at your buy box, right? I want to be very clear again. Something I got some heat for is if you're doing this right, you track 3 things. The only one that should matter to most people listening to you and I right now is days. It's your buy box statistics. How many listings, pendings, price drops, closings, relistings, right? If you have a buy box that's 40 active listings, you can track things like you just pointed out. Oh my God, half, if I lose 10 listings, but half of them come back, you'll see that in your buy box. That is the most important thing.
Look for them. Don't give up on it. If you see it's canceled, it doesn't mean it's gone.
Exactly. Because again, it could come back, and in your market at a hefty discount, 5%.
Right. And they usually do come back. Sometimes, even if they do take it off the market for a while, usually people still want to sell. Yeah. There's a whole expired listing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Gold mine there for buyers.
It is the thing that's going to be very interesting. Again, this may not play in King County. That's your backyard, not mine. But again, as we have just left the good season, summer's over, winter is here. Transactions normally fall. Now, if rates go up where they're going, I wonder how many mom and dad that are listing will just say, you know what, Beth, we were going to move to Texas, but now we're going to stay put another year. The trade-off is going to be the math equation that the Fed has done. The Fed broke the housing market. These people are running around with 3% mortgages. They're going to now trade into a 7.5. That math doesn't work, Beth.
Does not work. And I've talked to some folks who have decided, I always give them all the options and we talk through them. Sometimes they decide to keep their house as a rental.
Yeah, exactly. It's an asset. That more I got it. The biggest difference between this run up to unaffordability and last time is the debt structure.
Yeah.
The debt structure that was behind the last run up, 50% of it was toxic and bad.
So
and it
toxic.
all blew up.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, there are people running around with 2.3, 2.4% 30-year money. Dude, inflation's 8.5. That's a -6. That's crazy.
Yeah, it has to be a strong motivation to pull someone away from that to a double or more interest rate.
Oh, it's going to be ugly. We're going to have transaction. The Fed broke housing for the next 18 to 24 months. I mean, we'll still do 4 million transactions, but it's not going to be 7.
No. And the big question is, when are the rates going to come back down? And the answer is nobody really knows, but I'm not counting on it happening anytime soon.
No, I don't think it happens in 2023. And again, by coming down, meaning a Fed rate cut, I don't think they can. I think inflation is sticky. I think they're serious. I think 2024 could be an amazing year. Because again, the beauty that's going to fix housing is time.
Yes.
And if we have a year and a half of time, there'll be enough life events, enough promotions, enough births that we'll start getting out of this. And if we go into that, right, because there'll be a whole year and a half, Beth, where people are used to 7%. And then in 2020, the summer of 2024, Beth, 5.5.
Yeah.
People are going to go, yeah.
I remember last time that seemed low. I've been doing this for a while. I remember getting excited about that.
Yeah, but it's just, it's going to take time. So it's very interesting. A great data. Thank you for bringing it to us. Cancellations aren't all cancellations. Again, to kind of summarize your number, roughly 30% are true. Hey, we're not going to sell. The other 70% are off and back on, kind of your numbers today, King County, which may change in the future, but as of right now, those are kind of the numbers.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I just thought of real quick is that's also going to mess with the numbers for new listings.
True. Because
it has a new listing number and it's a new listing. And so it pings in the system as a new listing, but it's not really.
Yeah, it's not really.
So
again, folks, buy box, look at your numbers. Stop chasing, national housing crash calls. Look at your area. Do your buy box every day, 20 minutes. Beth, where can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me on my website, BethTraversogroup.com, or on Facebook, Beth Traverso, or on Instagram as well, Beth Traverso.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Beth.
Thanks.